wanted people to say hello. But Alexander Graham Bell had a different idea. Do you know what he wanted people to say when they answered the phone?
What's up?
Ahoy. No, what's up? So,
what's up? Ahoy? He
wanted people to say ahoy.
Wow.
So could you imagine with the butterfly effect, if we went back in time and we altered that and we were like, no, Thomas Edison, you're wrong.
Oh, wow.
We should answer the phone by saying ahoy. How we could have altered the future?
Oh, I haven't thought of that.
We would have answered the phone and it would have been like this in the future.
Ahoy.
Arr! Shivery timbers! Arr!
What the hell?
Oh, wow.
Right. We would have been picking up the phone in the future. And ladies and gentlemen, we all would have been, yes, you guessed it, pirates.
Yo ho, yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Had Thomas Edison have not won that argument with Alexander Graham Bell,
wow,
we would all have patches on our eyes right now.
And parrots on our shoulders, though.
Think about that. Parrots. We'd be chasing women with brooms. We'd be raping and pillaging, and no one would have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Not that I want that, but
sure.
I don't want that. I'm just saying that's the way it would be.
Yeah, you're just a historian making an observation.
We all would have been pirates. I'm grateful that we're not pirates. What do you think, AD?
I'm just trying to calculate in my mind how we got from Robin Williams' death to Demi Moore's undergarments to we could have been pirates if a different person won an argument about how to answer the telephone all in the space of 10 minutes. And it actually seems to work.
I could take it full circle for you if you want. ISIS, who also are big fans of Jumanji, Newsweek, ultra-liberal Newsweek magazine, wanted to defend Hamas this week. So they published a picture of Jasmine from Aladdin wearing a Hamas outfit, like holding a gun like she was a terrorist. So on my Facebook and my blog this week, I put a picture of Jasmine the way that they picture it and then what actual Hamas women look like. Because if Jasmine walked around in Palestine looking like that, they would stone her to death.
Right.
You know? Like
showing midriff.
She could never do that. They would kill her. Yeah. She would be a harlot, whore woman. Like, you couldn't get away with that.
AD, what do you think about the passing of Robin Williams?
This is so ridiculous.
Very sad. And what bothered me a lot was this sort of like knee-jerk reaction that a lot of people had where they were just like, you know what? Why are we going to talk about Robin Williams when we don't talk about the 20 members of the military every minute that commit suicide, veterans? And it's just like, I get that, and I understand that, and in fact, some people took me to task for talking about Robin Williams on the talk show that I do on iHeart every single morning.
Did they really get mad at you? That is so ridiculous.
They're like, I'm not willing to listen to what you think about Robin Williams passing until you address and I don't know if you guys ever listen to my show. I talk about veterans and how we have to do more for them a lot. I talk about the fact that 1 in 3 homeless people is a veteran. I talk about the fact that veterans can't get treatment at Veterans Hospital, and the ones that didn't make it, the ones that aren't offing themselves, died protecting our freedom. And I was just like, let's just get one thing straight right now. These people do not have a monopoly on bravery. What they do is incredibly brave and incredibly courageous, but it doesn't then negate the ability that an entertainer has to touch our lives. And I think for me, I really spent some time thinking about it, not being sure how I felt. I was like, is this blowing something up because he was a celebrity, and is this pointless attention that we're paying to him? And then
sure.
I was going through some stuff, and I realized, and you guys tell me, we're all around the same age, we're all in our 30s, you tell me if you had the same experience. I found that one of the things that was so valuable for me about Robin Williams was he kind of came up in a time where our parents were watching TV. Like, our parents probably watched Mork and Mindy, and I was allowed to watch his Live at the Met stand-up special with my dad, even though the language was filthy. And I would see my dad laugh at some of his jokes. Like, he did this one thing where he talked about, I think it was in the 80s, but he talked about sort of like how the government was sort of a mess. And he did this thing where he was like, Goofy, like he said, the government was like Disney. He was like, Goofy, you go be Secretary of the Interior. And my dad almost spat his drink out laughing at that one. And my dad's a guy that had been involved in international politics and business for a very long time. And so I remember the value of Robin Williams was that he made me feel closer to my dad. And I think he was, like Cosby, an entertainer that managed to bridge a generation gap. And when I thought about the effect that he had on my life, I'm not ashamed to admit it, I got misty. I shed a tear on the show when I was talking to him. And I was like, if his experience is meaningless compared to other people that kill themselves, then how come I'm emotionally affected by it? I'm not like a bleeding heart or anything of that nature.
Sure, because it means that a part of your childhood is over, and that, like, something that you had grasped onto your whole life, that an era sort of ended in a way. And even if you're not the biggest Robin Williams fan, you can't deny that, I mean, there aren't that many celebrities that are more famous than Robin Williams that were alive at the moment. I mean,
no.
you could say Tom Cruise or John Travolta, but they didn't really have as many hit movies as he did. Little kids aren't interested in Tom Cruise movies the way that Robin Williams might still have a few under 18 fans that are getting into Hook and Jumanji and Aladdin and stuff. There's no doubt in my mind that little kids don't still watch Aladdin.
Yeah, no, I mean, he just, I found him, and the people that like chose to run him down on Twitter and things like that, I found that to
messed
be
up. That's totally messed up.
I have this theory that this chemical dopamine.
Sure.
That is that we every time we check Facebook and we get a like or a retweet or something like that, we get a little dopamine hit from our brain. It's sort of like a reward for achieving something, and that's why people are becoming addicted to their cell phones. That's why people are becoming addicted to Twitter and to Facebook and things like that. And the backlash against people feeling sad about Robin Williams' death seems like, I can't remember, Thrush, that dude on Politico that was like, sorry, it's not at my list of the things to feel, not at the top of my list of things to feel bad about. It's like, it's a cheap thrill that you're getting. You're looking for likes and retweets and things of that nature. And I feel as though, and what a lot of people don't realize is that good feeling that you get from a like and a retweet, you can get the same thing from helping a little old lady across the street or, looking after someone.
But those people don't look
at
at it like that. And some people are just outraged about suicide. Like, there are some people who probably have dealt with suicide in their personal life who, when celebrities kill themselves, it sort of upsets them because of some personal experience they had. And I could sort of relate with that. I kind of get that. But I will say this, though. The way that people attacked you for talking about this when they think that that's more important or whatever, that is a ridiculous assumption for people to make. No one can decide what's important to somebody else. And just to prove that theory, I was at that amnesty protest earlier this week in Houston, and I met a pro-amnesty LGBT activism leader, and right there in the middle of all that protesting going on, I asked him this ridiculous question, and even though me and this guy don't agree on anything politically, well, very little, he was a good enough guy to humor me and answer my stupid question with all this other BS going on. Everyone's talking about Robin Williams. Some people online have said they're glad that they didn't do a Mrs. Doubtfire 2, which they were in the process of working on, because they feel that it's offensive to the transgender community. What do you think about that?
Mrs. Doubtfire was one of the best movies that Robin Williams has done, and it was one of my favorite movies. And if it was like some movies are not meant to have sequels, and I think hers is one of the ones that were not meant to have a sequel.
Right on.
Yeah.
Do you understand in the background there are Mexicans and Tea Party guys screaming at each other? And this is one of the protest organizers, and I go over to him with a microphone. I asked him that. He could have spit in my face. He was a good sport. I'll just say that.
Well, I have this theory that we all want the same stuff. Like, if you ask your average American, and taken from either side of the political fence, what are the things that you would like to see in this country? Most of them will tell you things like, well, it'd be great to have things like unemployment and poverty down and have that American dream where you could work hard, come home, and retire at the end of your life alive and well. Like a chicken in every pot. Everybody kind of wants the same thing for America and probably for the world. But we just have some very different ideas about what the right way is to get there. And I think the most important thing to keep sight of is not getting entrenched in the differences, but recognizing we're working toward the same thing. Let's just, not write each other off as evil a-holes. Let's just say we're working toward the same final picture of America. And maybe we get there and maybe we don't. But we might have differing opinions about how we get there, but we want the same thing 9 times out of 10. There's an interesting quiz which maybe we can play in the last segment of the show that illustrates this perfectly, I think.
Absolutely, and we will play that right after this break. We are late for break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We are Third Coast Radio, at Ramon Robles Jr. on Twitter, at ADSXE on Twitter, and of course I am at Producer Ken on Twitter. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come.
Hey, folks, it's Michael Berry. It's Saturday night. And on Saturday night, there's nothing I like better.
We know.
Than
You've
Ramon
said it already.
And AD and
I know,
producer
Barry.
Ken on the radio. Definitely.
Dude, I had this crazy party at my house last weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah, we had a bunch of rappers come over.
Really?
Yeah, I can't say who it was, but you know how we have that rap radio station down the hall from here? Right, a bunch of them came over, and they were, like, smoking in my living room.
The after party.
And they were spilling scissor on my all over my carpet.
No good.
But it's okay. I had some people come over and help me out.
Luckily, you know people at Oops Steam Clean.
Yeah, they can get out scissor. They can get out ashes from, like, those weird cigars that those guys were smoking.
Okay, that's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, they smelled weird. I didn't know what was in it.
Okay, but they got your house is like new now.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like a rap concert anymore.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Did any of them bring dogs on chains and stuff?
Yeah, they had dogs on chains, and they had gone, number one and number two.
Yeah.
Not just and it wasn't just a mess on my carpet. It was on the tiles.
Sure.
There was grout.
Right.
Somehow they left grout. I don't know how they did that. It was that rowdy of a rap concert,
Right.
I guess.
Wow.
And then also ducks.
Oh, they messed your ducts up for
Yeah.
your AC and heater? And all
Dude,
that?
they had like gold rimmed ducks.
Oh,
and they were
wow.
No, ducks for the air.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. So they get the dust out of there. Because when those guys are smoking those weird cigars in my living room, they got dust up in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Oops Steam came out, cleaned all that up.
Yeah, and when they were pulling like dirt and gunk up out of the carpet, they found a bunch of ice in there.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like gold chains and stuff.
That is weird.
Yeah,
that
and
must have been a hell of a party.
And a guy had the grill. Did you know about the grill?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he had the gold in his teeth.
It's like expensive dentures.
Diamond encrusted dentures, right?
Wow.
That's the only way to explain it.
That is fantastic.
It's like if Betty White, I don't know how else to explain it. But anyway, Oops Steam Clean took care of that for me.
Well, you want to call Oops Steam Clean at 281-822-0561. And, AD uses them too. I mean, just ask him.
I really do, literally all of the time.
They're good, yeah.
I've got stains in my carpet that I'm not willing to talk about in terms of how they got there, but I do know how they go away. Oops Steam Clean, with the emphasis in my personal experience on oops.
Hi, I'm Michelle Obama.
And I'm Jill Biden. As our wars draw to a close, more and more of our troops are coming home. And as they do, one of the biggest challenges they'll face is finding a job.
That's why we're so excited about iHeartRadio's Show Your Stripes initiative. Over the past year, they've been helping to connect our veterans with the jobs they deserve.
To get involved, just visit iHeartRadio.com/showyourstripes or joiningforces.gov.
Let's join forces and serve these heroes as well as they've served us.
Think your bulldog would look great with a nose ring? How about a nifty tattoo for your cat? Don't try it in New York or New Jersey. Both states consider it animal cruelty, and others are likely to do the same. Anti-cruelty groups say they're okay with small tattoos to indicate an animal's been spayed, but that's as far as they'll go. The new car smells wearing off the Tesla S that Consumer Reports has been driving for the last year or so. The magazine says its test car has had a bunch of annoying problems. Most serious, the center screen went blank, making it hard to do anything. The car got an average score in last year's reliability rating. Think it'll do that well this year? Well, I wouldn't count on it. Amazon's feuding with another big company. This time it's Disney. Amazon has stopped taking pre-orders for Disney DVDs like Captain America. You can still buy the streaming version, but no physical media. It's not a big deal, though. Walmart.com, among others, will happily take your pre-order. I'm Stacey Cohen. You can learn more at ConsumerAffairs.com.
Hi, it's Matt Patrick. iHeartRadio's Show Your Stripes has been leading the charge to connect veterans and employers. Over 250,000 veterans found jobs last year, and countless U.S. companies benefited from the elite training and skills of these men and women. You can too. If you've got a job to fill, you should be posting to the Show Your Stripes job site and browse through over 70,000 resumes. Hey, vets, your next job could be there waiting. Hire smart. Hire vets. iHeartRadio.com/Show Your Stripes.
Third Coast Radio.
All right, guys.
We are Third Coast Radio. Yes, that's who we are. You, my friend, if you love America and enjoy boobs and fart jokes and joining the left and the right over universal truths like boobs are great and fart jokes are funny, you should tweet all of us and listen to the show every single Saturday night. I'm your host, AD. At ADSXC is where you can find me on the Twitter. Also, my erstwhile compatriots